Man, I'm trying to connect to the 4G to get the maps to get to Berrima, but bloody thing now decided to play out and say it cannot connect. You know that little exclamation mark there? Absolute nightmare! But if the signal doesn't come back, we have to come out with a different plan, and I do not know what that plan is going to be. Good morning, gang! Welcome to another video.
So today we are going to Berrima.
We're gonna go and explore this beautiful town. It's outside here in the Southern Highlands of New South Wales where I'm right now. But first things first, because I need to have a smoothie first, so that's some energy for this whole day because it's gonna be a beautiful day. It's gonna be an amazing day, so stick along because you don't wanna miss out. Fancy squirty peanut butter. I don't know, it's quite cool. Woo! Beautiful. Man, so it's time to get changed. I need to get changed. Have this smoothie first. Have this smoothie first. Then go to Berrima. I don't have my pickup truck anymore. I'm using the people here that very kindly lend me their car to go. Anyway, time to crack on with the video because this is gonna be beautiful. See you in a bit. Welcome to Jumanji. Now I'm here, basically absolutely stunning, beautiful garden. These people are really dedicated to the garden and what they do. But enough of that. That's my house. Very cool. Let's off to Berrima. So, after 20 minutes of driving around, following signs, going to stuff I could remember, we finally made it to Berrima, baby, which I'm super excited about to show you guys because this town, it is super cool, it is super historical. This is split in two times. You have all a historic Berrima, which is around right now, and then you have New Berrima. New Berrima is not really interesting. It's just new houses because they kept this history separated from the new things. Welcome to Berrima! Right, so we're nice and relaxed, ready. So I actually really like this town. This town is pretty much like the Cotswolds. You mind to picture like British Cotswolds? The houses are the same. You have these beautiful stone houses, absolutely calm, peaceful wildlife everywhere. Everything is like elderly population behind it. It's quite relaxing, quite calm. The only difference between this and the Cotswolds is that you have way more parasite wildlife here, more cooler stuff. Also, here's the place where you see Perry the platypus. Find the platypus at ages, that's another video, separate thing. So subscribe if you want to watch that. If you haven't seen a platypus, I'm going to hunt a platypus down. Not hunt it and kill it, you know what I mean? Berrima ended up being this really actually cool town, quite peaceful, quite Cotswolds, so you can see everything is like quite stone-based, even the jail. Exactly, there is a jail here. It's even a notice saying that if you speak to inmates, you pretty much get screwed over. The jail just at the back there, the wall. Obviously, we cannot fly a drone over it because, well, it's a jail. I don't know, I get shot down, go to jail, get fined. I don't fancy that at the moment, but that is the jail over there, Berrima jail. This jail basically incarcerated some of the most dangerous criminals of the Southern Highlands. So in Australia, this jail did it. It doesn't do it anymore. They move it to more high security because you can see just a massive wall. Obviously, if someone has climbed that wall over there, it's pretty much Spider-Man. But what ended up happening with that jail is that basically there was this very famous criminal. And I wish I could remember the name of it, but I don't have internet to access it, and my notes cannot access them for internet. So for this purpose, we're gonna call him Joe. So basically what ended up happening was that they went and he escaped the prison through using toilet paper tissue, you know when you roll it up, tighten it, and what he basically did, every time when he used a napkin, he'll roll it up and tighten it and make a knot, and he hid this massive string of toilet paper, real toilet paper, like massive rope for him to get out. So what he did, he get toilet paper tissue, grab it, put it in his pocket, and then roll it up. You don't roll it up, it gets quite strong. He did that for 2 years, this process. He built a rope of toilet paper, basically so strong to hold his weight, so strong, so thin, it was 50 meters long. He did it, and he hid it under his mattress, hid it under bed. I don't know how you have 50 meters of rope, but this guy somehow managed to do that, which is really impressive. And basically what ended up happening was people come to visit him, and what he did was chuck the rope over the fence. Some of his colleagues came, grabbed the rope, hold them as an anchor. He climbed over the wall, outside and away from freedom, proving that the Berrima security was not that tense. Due to Australia's have a lot of workforce, so people live in the cities not so remote. So therefore, this couldn't hold dangerous criminals, because then after many criminals saw this, a lot of criminals started complimenting, a lot of people started escaping this jail and started fleeing away. And that's something that couldn't really happen and afford, so what they did, instead was they moved all the dangerous criminals, people that didn't want to escape, they moved them to Sydney, they moved them to Melbourne, they moved to the big cities, more intense security jails, more workforce, more eyes. But here, as you can see, if you could literally leap up over that wall, the jail's literally in there. If you could leap over that wall, I mean, there's no CCTV, there's nothing. You can just run away into the middle of nowhere. That is a pretty interesting and disturbing story of inmates escaping jail. This is the jail. They have actual inmates, actual criminals, and there is a restaurant over there, literally right next door. So when they escape, then gotta have a pint. No, I don't know, but that's the Berrima jail. That pretty much suggests we should not interfere or go in there or speak to any inmates in the prison itself. So I just spoke to a few people coming around, and basically what they were telling me is that they used to use this jail for people in World War I. They used to use this to hide prisoners of war and everything in that jail. They used to hide them all. What they do now is they keep low-level inmates and they use them to rehabilitate them. So now it's a rehabilitation center, kind of slash jail. So what they do with low-level felonies is they bring them here, rehabilitate them. So there's no access to the public at all whatsoever. As you can see, it still looks pretty nice, but there is zero access to the public for whatever that you want to see. So that's all I can show you of the jail. Obviously I cannot fly a drone on the top of it because that'll be absolutely ridiculous and ludicrous. Although it will be cool, but I don't think I'm allowed. So here behind me, we got the Berrima courthouse right next to the jail. Just right there, literally there, that's the wall to the jail, or rehabilitation center slash jail. Behind me, we got the Berrima courthouse, and basically about this courthouse, it's not operating anymore. You can go and do tours in it at the moment. They are not doing them because it's quite low season here, so they only open in like high seasons. In winter time, which is the wet season, which a lot of countries, summertime, they travel and go away. So it's quite low season now. High peak season, Christmas is shut down, so they only open in high season for you to go and explore. Basically, what's happening is that this courthouse is used to file all the criminals that went into the jail. Right there, all the criminals, all the court cases to go there since the jail was built. And there's a very particular story, again, I don't know the name because I cannot access my desk because the internet doesn't work. So what ended up happening was, let's go for Frederick. There was this guy that used to be a bounty hunter, right? And this is the story. He used to be a bounty hunter, and every time he went to the court and everything, he will frame other people for crimes, right? So it'll be a crime going around the town, around the area, and he will create his own crime. He will frame the crime, and he will frame other people. And because back there was technology is, right now it's not what it is. So what they will do, he will be framing other people on what they did. And for 20, 30 years, he was getting away with this, claiming his bounty, his money, framing someone else that was not his fault. And he will be literally getting away with it every single time. He'll be getting away with it. What ended up happening was one day he finally got caught. So actually the story is quite funny because he actually ended up framing everyone, making up his own crimes, and he was actually the thief, creating all the crimes. So he was getting the bounty plus stuff he was robbing, or the people he was murdering, all this stuff. So he was framing them all, claiming a bounty who can solve this crime. So for 20 years, this guy, 20, 30 years, this guy was a hero. This guy was like the legend, right? This guy was the bro, you go like a fist bump. This guy knows what he's doing, right? He was well recognized. He was up there with the elites of the era, the mayors, because this guy was like absolute legend. The best thing is that once I discovered, when he did one crime and he fell for it and absolutely messed himself up, he actually ended up discovering that, wow, he's not immortal and he will get caught out eventually, and did get caught out and got sentenced to death to be hanged in the square of the town for all the crimes he did. So after having such a high life and not living an honest life, he basically ended up with a sense of death and ended up hanged in the center park where everybody could see. And the main message here was displayed to portray the image you want people to see of you. The lessons that you learn in life and the ones that are the cheap and easy way of framing other people and not taking responsibility for your own actions will eventually end up in your fall and your collapse. For me, it's just a bit like shocking to think that this is such a nice town, so quiet as you can see, so peaceful. You hear the birds singing, it's really relaxing, but this town has so much history and so much going behind it that literally what ended up happening was the whole thing between criminals having high security prison, hanging people in the main park, hanging people in the center, death penalties, lots of murder, lots of things. This built, but then again, the prison is built so nicely as well. They still almost like try to hide the fact that this was, obviously it's not big, so imagine back in the day it's probably just a few houses, the courthouse, the security guards that worked there, obviously World War II, they kept prisoners in the prison itself. It's not prison anymore now. They kept prisoners in there, and obviously they kept them in there. So don't imagine this being much residence at all. This was probably just literally one place where you drop the criminals off, courthouse, they get sentenced to death and then they get slaughtered. And here, in this area, they had to remove it down because in the war someone they cut down when they put it for tourists, and for some reason where they ended up hanging people and all that, they didn't want to portray that image of the town. They want to preserve the prison is still used down, they call it still history, but that bit was a bit too good to them to keep, so took it away. Pretty much where I am at the moment is where all this slaughtering, well not slaughtering, death penalty used to happen in Berrima. This town absolutely blows my mind. When I saw it, I was like, this town absolutely sick actually, but lots of history behind it, lots of stories behind it. I highly recommend come to Southern Highlands to Barrow, come to Berrima. I actually think it's quite pretty. It is really, really nice. And actually, if you want to see a platypus, actually a place where you come to see a platypus as well. We will come and do that later. Now the question is that I need to figure out how to get back home. Oh, because I have no internet, I have no maps, and don't really fancy getting lost, to be honest. Again, this stupid car. So you have to go passenger side to open this door. Make sure the key works. Sometimes it doesn't, so you want to get in the car, you have to flip it into it works. There you go, works. Boom, switched it over. Then I have to pretty much get across the car over to the other side through the passenger side. Oh my god. Shut this door. Go across. To then build the road guide, but it's a free car, so I can't really complain. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and I'll see you later